All right, everybody. So I started out videoing this whole long video about spreads, duck and goose decoy spreads, beginner tactics, but I needed to back up. I need to caught myself, okay? Because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's addressed this, and I'm very passionate about it, okay? I'm very passionate about waterfowl hunting in general, turkey hunting. Nobody's talking about safety and calling shots, okay? Gun safety in the blind. Whenever you're shooting at birds, zones. And I realized we have a lot of younger guys that are duck hunting, and they may just not know, okay? They might not know, or they haven't been corrected on it, or called out, held accountable. That's very, very, very easy to understand and probably assume. So I wanted to talk about it because it's something that I just see more and more and more of, guys recording their buddies, birds coming in, okay, and shooting, and then all of a sudden you got barrels crossed. It's an accident waiting to happen. I want this video to be able to be viewed and seen, and hopefully save somebody's life. Right? Save somebody's trip to the hospital. You see it almost every year, hunting accident. I hate to see it. It breaks my heart that the last day of the worst day of everyone's life is when they were out doing something that they love to do, right? And that is what I hope this helps you guys out with, okay? Welcome to class, okay? So, simple gun safety in the blind. We see way too much of it. This is something I listen for, okay? I've guided people in Canada, in the US, not nearly as much as some of my buddies have, but this is something that we hear and it drives us crazy. And it is literally as simple as, right? Almost like that. I just try to give you an example, right? Birds coming in, getting ready to call the shot. All of a sudden you hear 2 or 3. The safety of your gun should not be off until you have that gun shouldered and you are looking down the barrel at birds. No questions asked. No questions asked. Do not flick your safety off in the A-frame, in the layout, because you don't know what can happen between here and here, right? A layout. All it takes is for a corn stalk, your lanyard, something to get caught in the trigger guard that isn't your finger, right? That can cause either yourself harm or somebody else, okay? As you can tell, I'm fired up about this, right? I feel like I'm Tim Tebow at halftime right now. You know, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives right here, right? So no safety's off before you're shouldering your gun and flicking and putting it on a bird. Guys, like that's just, I see it all the time. I see videos, birds coming in and all of a sudden you just hear the click, 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 or just a single click of a single mallard drake is coming in. Click, kill it, pops up, boom. That gun was off safe and not on a target for however long that was, right? It could be a couple seconds watching a bird come in. It could be a millisecond. Guys, flip the safety off when the gun's shouldered, you're pointing at a bird. Nobody's talking about it. Not enough anyway. All right? That is my number. I will call you out if we're hunting, and that's just irresponsible, okay? Another thing that I want to talk about is swings. Okay, if you are in an A-frame blind, right? It's a big old rectangle. I am right here, okay? I can only shoot 10 and 2. I guess, yeah, this is 10 and 2 from the ground up, okay? Straight up, with an A-frame. Guys are starting it because it's easier to start swinging right or left, however you're doing it. but it's way easier to start shooting across each other. Well, what happens, right? Every single guy is 10 and 2, right? 10 and 2. You've really only got so many, sorry, this is not up to scale. You've only got so many areas on which you can shoot, right? If a bird is over here, the far left end of your blind should not be shooting at those birds whatsoever. Okay? That's irresponsible. Your buddy is valuing that, shooting that bird over somebody's life and somebody's hearing. I hate to be as morbid as it is, but that is what it is. You are dealing with a firearm and a duck and a goose blind. Treat it like so. Okay? These guys here, right here, should not be shooting at these birds, right? Realistically, this guy should not be shooting at these birds, okay? You get them here, 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 and here, that's okay. But anything far right, far left, the opposite side of the blinds, whether it's layouts, A-frames, pits, should not be shooting whatsoever, okay? That gets into another point here, okay? Your right-handed shooter should be in the left side of the blind here, because he can now swing this way and this way. Your left-handed shooter should be in this section of the blind because he can swing this way and this way. All right? It's how the body works, okay? You guys tracking? Clear as chocolate? Here we go. So we're going to keep on rolling. When you guys stick to your lanes, more stuff dies. More stuff falls, okay? When you get 10 geese doing it perfect, man, oh, dude, there's 7 or 6 right there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, homeboy here, he's got 3 geese to shoot from. This guy is going to have 1 for sure and probably a second one, right? And then he can maybe get into this one here. Same thing with this guy. You shoot your lanes, you stick to that 10 and 2, more stuff falls, you can track birds easier. You should not be going boom, boom, boom. And I see it way too often. All right? Now, you get over on this side, same thing. You should only be staying in your shooting lane, not be going this way. If you're hunting a crosswind, all these birds are going to drag across anyway. Okay? So, and if you're hunting with your wind at your back, they're centered up. They might spin out here. More than likely, they're just going to go, right? So, stay in your lanes. Start high, okay? Because everyone say this is what the flock looks like from layouts or A-frame right above the decoys, right? Everyone's already looking at the bottom birds. Start with these ones here, because what do ducks do? They fly. They get up. Geese, they get up whenever there's a danger or whatever that they don't like. They fly up. So you shoot the high ones, boom. Then you work down, boom, boom, while staying in your lanes, okay? If there's a dog, try to, first and foremost, if your dog breaks, tether it up. Like a breaking dog is so easy to prevent. In my opinion, it's just irresponsible dog ownership. At that point, it's incredibly unsafe. I don't care if you're worried about your dog not being able to mark the furthest bird away. Your dog can do that from the blind. My dog does it every single time we go hunting. Okay? Make sure the dog is not breaking, okay? And guys, shooting it like cripples, anything like that, as soon as you guys are shooting or get done shooting, guns are back on safe, pointed up in the air, especially when the dog's scent. No guns pointed downrange or down or whatever in the decoy spread when a dog's working out in the spread. That does not mean shoot at cripples while the dog's out in the spread, right? Last thing I want to do when I call it during a day goose hunting, if I call my wife while I'm hunting, something is wrong. Something is gone terribly wrong. The last thing I want to have or call her about is somebody shot my dog, right? And nobody else wants to deal with that situation either. Okay, that's a family member at that point. But it's just, this is the realities that people don't necessarily think about here, guys. This is just cut and dry, being as straightforward and transparent as possible. Nobody thinks about it. Nobody talks about it, but it needs to be addressed. All right. So if you have any questions, leave them below. Like the video, whatever you want to do, share it. But this is stuff that has to be talked about. Talk to your buddies in the morning. There's guides are taking people they've never even met before, taking them hunting with firearms, right? You can talk to your buddies about this, okay? Be straight up and establish the rules, establish the zones. Hey man, you swung far that time and rung me. Call him out. He's not going to do it again, right? Hold people accountable and bring the waterfowl community up. Over and out.